Today, we are diving deep into a rule of power that pretty much goes against everything we're ever taught about getting ahead. It's this super counterintuitive idea that sometimes the best way to succeed is to actually hide how brilliant you are.
So let me ask you this. We're always told, show off your skills, be the best, let your talent shine. But what if that very talent, that drive to impress everyone, could actually be the thing that gets you in the most trouble? What if it's your biggest liability? And that brings us right to law number 1 from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Never outshine the master. The idea is simple, but it's so powerful. When you're dealing with a boss, a mentor, anyone above you, your job isn't to show them how smart you are. It's to make them feel smart. Think about it. Their position is built on them feeling superior. The moment you start flaunting your talents, you're not impressing them. You're poking at their biggest insecurities. And trust me, when you threaten someone's ego, you are playing with fire.
Now, to really see just how badly this can blow up in your face, we have to look at a classic story from history. This is the tale of a man who literally had everything and lost it all in a single night, just because he forgot this one crucial rule.
Let's go to France, 1661. Meet Nicolas Fouquet. He's the finance minister for the young King Louis XIV. And Fouquet is brilliant, and he knows it. When the top job, the prime minister, opens up, he's absolutely sure it's his. But the king doesn't give it to him, and Fouquet starts to get a little nervous.
So he cooks up this grand plan to get back in the king's good graces. He decides to throw a party at his brand new, jaw-droppingly gorgeous chateau. This wasn't just any party. It was going to be the most spectacular event the world had ever seen, all in the king's honor. It was supposed to be a brilliant move. Instead, it was a fatal miscalculation.
And here is where it all went so wrong. The party was a masterpiece. The problem was, it was too much of a masterpiece. Every single detail was perfect, the food, the entertainment, so perfect that all the guests, including the king, were completely dazzled by the host, by Fouquet. Instead of flattering King Louis, this insane display of wealth and taste just made the king feel small. He felt insecure. He felt outshone.
The philosopher Voltaire just nailed it with this quote. The very next morning, the king had Fouquet arrested on completely made-up charges. He spent the last 20 years of his life rotting in a prison cell. He didn't just outshine a competitor, he outshone his master, and he paid the absolute highest price for it.
Okay, so that's how you completely and totally fail. Now, let's flip the script and look at a story of absolute strategic genius. This is how you use this law not just to survive, but to seriously thrive.
And this really boils it down, doesn't it? Look at the difference here. Fouquet's whole approach was, look at me, look how brilliant I am. But Galileo understood the game. He knew the real goal was to make it all about his master. He used his incredible talent not for his own glory, but to make his patrons look good.
So let's set the scene. We're in the early 1600s. Galileo is, a world-changingly brilliant scientist, but he's also broke. He's totally dependent on the generosity of rich patrons, like the powerful Medici family. And getting one-off payments for his inventions just wasn't cutting it anymore. He needed a stable, permanent job.
And what he does next is it's a masterclass. First, he discovers the moons of Jupiter, a massive, historic achievement. But here's the genius part. Instead of just announcing it, he packages it politically. He names the moons the Medicean stars, after the 4 sons of his patron. He basically said, look, this is a cosmic event. The heavens themselves are celebrating the greatness of the Medici family. He turned his discovery into their divine triumph.
So, what was the result? Did the Medicis feel threatened by his genius? No way. They felt elevated by it. He wasn't just some smart guy, he was their personal connection to the cosmos. They immediately hired him as their official court philosopher and mathematician, with a full salary. The man never had to worry about money again. See? He didn't outshine his masters, he made them outshine everybody else.
Okay, these are amazing stories from history, but you're probably wondering, how does any of this apply to my life, to my job, right now? Well, let's break down the modern playbook.
So here are some real tactical things you can do. Instead of always showing how smart you are, ask for their advice. Act a little naive. Publicly give them credit for your best ideas. Make it seem like your great work is just an extension of their wisdom. If you're wittier than them in meetings, tone it down a bit. The goal here is to be an incredible asset, not a terrifying rival. You want to be the reason they look good.
And this part is absolutely crucial to understand. This is not about being weak. It's not about being a suck-up. It's actually the ultimate form of control. By carefully managing the ego and insecurities of those above you, you're the one pulling the strings. You are playing the long game, building your own power base, instead of becoming a casualty of someone else's vanity.
But, of course, like any good rule about power, you have to know when to break it. This is not a law you should follow blindly all the time. There are very specific moments when outshining the master isn't just okay, it's actually the right move.
You've got to be able to read the situation. Is your superior a falling star, someone who's already on their way out? Then their insecurity doesn't matter much. Shine away. Are they just plain weak? Well, you can use your talents to, gently nudge them towards the exit. But, and this is a big but, if they are firmly in power, like King Louis was, you have to be patient. Your time will come, but trying to force it is just a recipe for disaster.
In the end, it all comes back to this one powerful metaphor. Just think of your master as the sun. Your job is not to become a second sun trying to compete with it. No, your role is to be like the moon, reflecting the sun's light and even making it seem more beautiful and intense. So the question I want to leave you with is this: are you reflecting the light, or are you trying to block it?